At this year's Label Expo Europe in Brussels, we have the package print workshop for the second time, and the idea is to demonstrate to interested parties, label printers ostensibly, what other products can be produced on label presses. We're showing two different types of presses at the package print workshop, a digital and a flexo, and I have with me Filip Weymans, who's Marketing Director of the Labels and Packaging Division at Zycon, who's going to talk about what they're doing with the Zycon press. Now, Filip, most people see Zycon as a label press. What makes it so suitable for producing the folding cartons that you're going to be demonstrating here?
Well, one of the solution that we're demonstrating here is actually been developed and designed to suit both kind of markets. And actually we have developed even more specific products to make it better fit for the folding carton market. So if you look, for example, the web width capability of the 20-inch or 516 millimeter, giving you the capability of running the bigger sized cartons. The fact that it's actually a dry toner process, so there's no mineral oils involved, which are an important aspect in the folding carton business. All those kind of aspects make it a real good fit also for the folding carton market.
What's the specification of the Zycon press that you have at the package print workshop?
Yeah, the Zycon 3500, that's the press that we brought to the package printing workshop here, has a throughput of 19.2 meters a minute, has a web width capability of 516 millimeter, is equipped with 5 colors, being orange, yellow, cyan, magenta, and super black, which really allows you to make a very rich black. And on top of that, there's a whole set of other modules integrated to make it a full solution that gives you actually a sheet-fed folding carton solution.
Have you had to make any modifications to the standard press to make it run carton instead of label?
Well, we didn't make any specific changes. What we actually do is that with a Zycon press, you get actually a kind of a Chinese menu. And depending on the applications you want to do, let it be for even within the label market, or let it be for an IML market or for a folding carton market, within that Chinese menu you pick actually the products that make the Zycon press, the Zycon solution, then actually fit the application. So, and if you look here in this case, the folding carton, what did we do here? Well, we've integrated or implemented actually a super black in one of the print stations that really get you that high dense, rich black, luxury black. We've implemented also an orange that gives you the capability to expand your color range, and alongside that the yellow, the cyan, and magenta. On top of that, in the fusing concept, we have there what we call an alpine fuser drum that gives you the widest range to print actually on folding carton material, going from an SBS to GC1. So it gives you a very, very broad spectrum. And on top of that, there's also the cutter, which in most label applications is not very common, but in a folding carton application, because you might want to convert to sheets, is of course can be a crucial part, and that is also integrated in the solution that we're showing here.
Okay. Is there a learning curve that an operator would need to go through to switch from one type of production, say labels, to IML, to, in this case, cartons, or is it fairly straightforward?
From operating perspective of the Zycon press, the changes are very minimal. I think the main challenge lies in the bigger production, in the bigger picture of the production, where printers do have to be organized to cope with the different materials, the different requirements. For example, in the cartons you have to crease and cut, where in the labels you just have to kiss cut. So as long as the broader spectrum of the production environment of the printer, of the converter, is capable to work with that, then that's fine. On the Zycon press specifically, a guy that runs cartons, a guy that runs that runs labels, there's no big change. With that, maybe one thing that I do have to mention there is that you do have to make sure that preparing your job is then done in pre-press. Because in a folding carton environment, you want to nest things. Yeah. If the pre-press people, they're knowledgeable about this. In the labels, you do two-step repeats. If an operator has to do the on-press, it might become quite time-consuming, and he might make some errors there. So you have to make sure that you really draw clear borders of what people need to do in their position. So when it comes down to printing, then there's no big change between.
So they need to adapt their skills rather than requiring new skills
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the type of carton job that you're going to be demonstrating at the package print workshop?
There's actually two jobs that we're doing here at the package printing. One in the morning, which is a chocolate box that will be printed on the Zycon again with the orange, yellow sign, magenta and black. And in that chocolate box you really see that the super black is really coming to its, really standing out there. After that, we, further down the line, we go through an inline water-based spot varnish, where we then apply actually a food-safe varnish from Actiga to protect actually the print and to make it shine properly. And then after the varnish, we're cutting the web into sheets, going through the waste separator, where then potentially waste material is evacuated, and the sheets that have to be stacked are then further going into the stacking, a pile high stacker, which we're demonstrating it for the first time. So this is the whole process of producing. In the afternoon, we change to a different type of box there. We go to what we call a cereal box, so for a smaller portion of cereal boxes, where you could have the idea that those kind of things fit in those food fresh boxes that are every day delivered with the food that you're cooking that day. So that kind of portion type of thing. Again, with multi-varieties, showing you the flexibility in changing from one to the other. But staying within the same process, the 5-color printing, applying a food-safe water-based varnish, sheeting it, and then stacking it into the material. And on those two applications, we're using either the material Enzo coat from Stora Enso, or we're using a material from Mezza board as the carrier for the folding carton material.
Very appropriate that one of your jobs is a chocolate box. Bear in mind where we're in Belgium. I know that chocolate is one of the foods that poses the biggest problem with ink migration and food safety issues. How do you cope with that with the digital process?
Yeah. Well, if you look to the process of dry toner itself, I mean, with that technology you get some disadvantages, but you get some tremendous advantages that overcome really challenging issues even in the conventional printing. If you look, for example, in the folding carton, there's a lot of conversations and talks going on about mineral oils or even solvents that are being used there. And in the dry toner process, there is no substance at all that will be absorbed into the material or that can potentially migrate. On top of that, if you look to dry toner, as there is nothing evaporating, from the point of odor, the fact that you don't want anything to smell, and that is really even more crucial for certainly when you go to chocolates, because they really affect the taste of a chocolate. Yeah. When, and those things are simply not present in a dry toner process. And we do rely also on our partner Actiga, that the varnish that they have provided in the solution here is totally food safe, and they also have the certificates for that. So, but from printing process, I mean, dry toner has some tremendous advantages there.
Okay, so that's the two carton jobs that Zycon's going to be demonstrating at the package print workshop. But I know that in the afternoon you're going to be giving a short presentation on brand protection. Can you tell us what you're doing with that, why it's so important, why people need to know more about it, and how Zycon can help them?
Yeah. Well, if you look to the world, how it is changing today, access to products through the medium of internet is very, very easy. The question that people and we consumers have, and that also brand owners have, is that we have to have the capability of identifying that these products are really genuine, because they might affect, they might otherwise affect us in a negative way. And for that reason, brand protection is certainly a topic that is on the mind of many people. What we try to do here in this brand protection workshop is we try to actually illustrate the variety of capabilities that people have throughout printing. And sometimes they might be very simple things that we could utilize, or that we could use in the artwork or in the print. And it's those type of things that we try to educate people on how to go about. And it's certainly not only about the printing aspect itself, it's about a broader spectrum of brand protection, where you talk also about serialization and putting a complete program in place that makes the whole loop closed, and that brand owners but also consumers can identify or can verify that the products are really genuine.
And once again, if somebody out there's got a Zycon press at the moment, what you're going to be showing is things that they can do on their own press.
Correct.
Doesn't need special modification.
Correct.
Any different skills.
There might be some specific softwares that come in handy.
Yeah.
For example, I think we've integrated some software solutions from AGFA, but also from ATT, a French company. But let's say 60%, 70% of the security features that we build into the brand protection solution are all coming standard with the Zycon press. And they do differ from other technologies purely by the aspect of the print resolution. That is where we are unique. 1200 dpi by 3600 dpi is a unique resolution within the field of digital printing. And that is also making that the Zycon is very uniquely fitting also in such kind of solutions.
And you're going to be demonstrating that at the workshop?
We will do that at the end of the second workshop in the afternoon.
Okay. So if you're interested in that, come along to the afternoon session. We hope you come along to the morning session as well. Zycon are in Hall 9. If you want to see anything else that they can do with their digital presses, go and see Filip or any of his colleagues. Thanks very much, Filip.
My pleasure.